Okay, happy 2026, and it is a new year. And of course, I'm sure a lot of us have some sort of new year resolution, things we want to get going and do this year. But of course, we're all trying to get over our holiday food coma. But of course, it is 2026, so we gotta get ourselves in high gear. Now, first thing is, I actually don't like to just kick off running head on 100 miles an hour and burn myself out in 1 month, and then, 1 month later, we find ourselves, quitting our gym membership or whatever it is that we end up doing, right? It's happened to so many of us. We have all these resolutions in the beginning of the year. For me, I like to ramp myself up. I want to kind of get myself gradually kick ourselves in gear, kind of like when you're driving a stick shift. For those of us who've actually remember stick shift, your car needs to slowly ramp up. You don't want to go into high gear right away. You got to get yourself started in the right way and set yourself up so that when you go on the high gear, you're cruising, you're not struggling to try to play catch up, and stalling. So how do we do that in life, in performing arts and in life? For me, in performing arts this last week or so, this first week of the new year, I've already been kind of brainstorming lots of ideas, having lots of meetings with my team. We started earlier last year, of course, but if you haven't started last year, it's okay. There are new ideas that came up to me. It's new year. Lots of new things come up to me too. So spending that time, that quality time to think, to plan. How do I get from here to point A to point B? What do I want in this point B? So for example, one of the things that I did was I revisited some old ideas that I had. There was this story that I came up with back when I was still in college. I was like, you know what? I think this year might be the year where I'm going to revisit it. I'm going to go and take a look at it. So I did. I went back and really sat down and revisit this. Obviously it's still in its very infancy, in its new iteration, but I'm not burning myself out where I'm like, oh man, 1 week later, I'm like, I'm done. Prepping myself to gradually get into that space of developing this idea and let this run throughout the whole year, not having the expectation that I need to be done tomorrow, but having the idea that, this is a project. I'm going to allow myself some time this year to get into gear, to ramp this up. And then some things, also with my school as well, there are projects and ideas that we are starting to kick off and starting to go. And so you got to meet with your team in work. You probably do that in work. You meet with your team and decide on things that you want to do. So make sure you do that also for yourself, for your personal goals, what those personal goals are. If whether you want to be in better shape or if you want to learn how to sing this year, is to set yourself up with incremental goals, little by little. If you want to learn how to sing this year, don't just sign up for a bunch of classes that you're going to quit in 2 months, but rather explore with those classes, the schools, talk to them, get to know them, and then understand what your needs are. Obviously, from a owner of a music school, please go sign up for a bunch of lessons, but it's not always right for everyone. And I will say it here, not everyone is ready immediately to sign up for lessons. And that's okay too. Maybe you need a month or two to get yourself in gear. Maybe what you need is this first month in January, instead of signing up right away for lesson, is that tell yourself, I am going to sign up for lesson in the coming couple of months, 2 to 3 months. But right now, I am going to set myself up to clear out enough of my schedule in the week where, all right, on Sunday night is karaoke night. On maybe Tuesday and Thursday, I'm going to make sure I'm going to do a little bit of, singing and watch some singing videos to help myself get in the mode of practicing. Develop that system of practice, allowing yourself time to work on your own craft, on your own goals first. Give yourself that space to do this first before you dive straight into it. Because if you don't, then it's going to be a struggle. When you say, I'm going to go to the gym 5 times a week, I'm like, are you really? Yes, I am. I'm like, are you really? So instead of doing that, carve out that time at home first. Maybe 5 minutes here, 10 minutes there. I always say to my piano students, when you want to develop a practice schedule, you don't go from 0 to 8 hours a day right away. You go from 0 to 5 minutes a day. The first thing you do in the morning when you wake up, after you do you brush your teeth and do all of that stuff, you have breakfast, or even before breakfast, is to go sit down at the piano, play 5 minutes of scale. That's it. Don't stress over it. Don't even go beyond it, even if you can. Don't. Because if you do that, it becomes no pressure. It becomes easy. And, our brain likes the path of least resistance. The easier we make it for our brain to do, the more our brain is likely to continue doing it. So make it easy, make it fun for yourself, That's why I say, if you want to sing, make karaoke night. If you want to do dancing, do a 5-minute, TikTok dance moment, every Sunday night or Saturday morning when you wake up. Whatever it is that works conveniently in your schedule that you can just budget, squeeze out a 5-minute segment. But the key is you have to make sure that's a time that works 90% of the time. Obviously, things come up. Sometimes you may have a last minute, thing that you have to do on Sunday night. But if most of the time that's going to be free, then that's a workable time. So I wish you all a wonderful, happy 2026 and get off that couch, with your puppy and with whoever it is. Get off the couch and bring your whole family together and start your New Year resolutions and goals. And if performing arts is a part of that resolution, if you want to learn how to act and get more confident on stage and in speaking, or if you want to become a singer or a dancer or play an instrument, come talk to us and we'll help you set up your lesson and also help you create a practice regimen that will work and that can last. All right, happy 2026, and please like and subscribe to our channel here, and we'll see you